morning. Christine Regan Lake here. Hope all is well. So today we continue our discussion on the 18 schemas that humanity struggles with. At this point, you probably know a schema is basically a core belief or a global metaphor that someone holds that basically clouds their entire vision of the world. So today we're going to talk about the negativity and pessimistic schema. So essentially what that is people who struggle with a negativity pessimistic schema have a kind of an obsessive focus on the negative aspects of life. You know, this is typically your person who is the glass is half empty. What happens in this schema is that not only do you hyper focus on all that is wrong in the world and all the negativity and everything that could and will definitively go wrong in your opinion, you pretty much are blind to the good things that are happening in the world. You develop a cognitive dissonance to the things that contradict your belief that people are awful, the world is terrible, it's a dangerous place, everything's corrupt, there are no good people, that kind of thing. And so when you actually have people and circumstances that come into your sphere of influence that contradict that, you reject it. You refuse to look at it. You're in denial. You will not believe. You refuse to believe anything other than your pessimistic, negative beliefs about, people, the world, situations, and things like that. So what happens, how did this happen? How do you develop a negative pessimistic schema? Well, typically, as all of this stuff does, it goes back to your childhood. So if you grow up in an environment with parents or family members, siblings, cousins, just generally speaking, the environment in which you are around is with people who have that negative, pessimistic, cynical outlook, that is, you see it, you absorb it, you start believing it, and then that becomes your truth as well. The reality is you have to look at life and the world the way it is, and not and reach a place of kind of neutrality. You can't be fairy tale. You can't have rose-colored glasses and envision it better than it actually is. You have to come from a place of truth and acknowledge that, yes, there are negative things in the world. There are negative people in the world. There are corrupt people who betray and things like that. But there are absolutely good people in the world who are loving and kind and generous and authentic and genuine. And so, you really need to strive to heal that distorted lens that you're viewing your life through, which is that it all sucks, people are shit, people always lie and betray. That's not true. Some do, yes, that's correct, but not everyone does. So people with a negativity pessimistic schema tend to struggle with rumination. They get a thought in their head and they just keep spinning it and spinning it and spinning it and spinning it. And rumination is incredibly destructive. First of all, it keeps you just treading water, right? You cannot, when you are ruminating, you are basically stuck in one place, stuck on one thought. And even if you are theoretically moving forward, so you were in a crap job where you were disrespected, if your true belief at the deepest level is that, people are bad, people just want to take advantage of you, they just want to, take you for everything you can, well, you're just going to go out and get another job that's just as crap, where you're treated with disrespect and things like that, right? So you have to understand the power of your mind and the power of what your beliefs magnetize into your life. You are 100% responsible for everything that is and is not in your life, right? So, we're adults now. We can't blame our parents for, everything. We can't blame the government. We can't blame our bosses, right? It's our life. We have 100% choice. If you're in a crap job that you hate, well, then quit it and go get a better job. If you've been in a long line of bad jobs and you hate working for other people, then, reach into the deepest parts of you, find your courage and start your own business. You are not a victim. It is your choice whether you choose to be negative and pessimistic about the world. But you really need to ask yourself, is that negativity, is that pessimism really working for you? Is it getting you what you want in the long run? Because if it's not, then the only intelligent thing to do is to figure out how to tweak whatever you need to tweak to change that belief, to go back and heal the wounds of your childhood that taught you those things, that taught you that dysfunction, that caused you to have such kind of hopelessness, anger, despair, resentment, obsessing on that which is unjust and unfair and, whatever. Look at what is fair in the world. Look at all the blessings you have in your life. Is it fair that someone's born, like with no legs? It is what it is, and they've had to cope with it. You have blessings in your life that people would be praying to have the problems that you have. It's so easy to get caught up in poor pity me attitude when you have that negativity, pessimistic schema. But it really is just pure self-sabotage. There's nothing good about it. It's important to look at things as they really are, but it's not good to blow them up bigger than they are and to say it's far more horrific that there is, and there's no good in the world, because that's just absolutely categorically not true. There are millions of beautiful, kind, loving, honest, generous people in the world, and they're out there whether or not you choose to allow yourself to see them or not. And to be honest, if you struggle with this negativity, pessimistic schema, think about how much that is clouding your life. Think about the amount of energy you pour in every day to spewing negative thoughts, spewing negative angry words, giving the finger to somebody in the car, yelling at someone or giving them a harsh exchange because you're just angry and frustrated, and and you have all of that frustration because you believe that things are hopeless and you can't change anything, and that's total garbage. They did a Gallup poll, and they found that 35% of the people that go out into the world are miserable, and they go out with the express intent of making other people miserable as well. And if you're a person who walks around with that negativity, pessimistic schema, you might want to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, am I one of those 35 percenters who are going out into the world and making others miserable because I'm so miserable because I think everything is hopeless and I have no belief in my future. I have no belief in, the positivity of the world. So, I would encourage anyone who this resonates in any way, shape, or form, that you feel like you could be, inclined toward the negative and the pessimistic. Take the time to look in the mirror and ask yourself, is this serving me? Is this really helping me create the ideal life that I want? Do I really want to carry around all of this negative, half-empty, hopeless, frustrated, despair kind of energy where I think that there's nothing good in the world? Does that really serve you? And does it serve your family? If you're a parent, what are you teaching your kids? What are you showing them as a role model when you walk around with this kind of negative, helpless victim mentality that, the world is awful? If you truly believe the world is awful, then get up off your ass and change it, and take responsibility and be a part of the change for good. Be a part of raising the collective vibration of love and kindness and compassion and generosity to others. Again, you are not a victim. None of us are victims. We choose our life. Every moment of every day, we choose what we think, what we feel, how we choose to decide to react to things, whether we want to react or respond. It's a choice. You are not a child. You are not a victim. Everything is a choice. So if you want a better life, then you have to envision a better life, and you have to speak a better life into existence. You have to use the words of articulation that have a high vibration. You have to embody the emotions and the feelings of the life that you want. If you want a life filled with fulfillment and gratitude and joy and passion, then you have to hold that vibration in your body. You have to speak that vibration out into the world. You have to magnetize that life into your reality. It's that simple. It is a choice. You do have the power, and it's really, all it takes is a decision. So I hope you found value in this. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I look forward to speaking with you again soon. Thanks. Bye.